Where's like your intro? It was like your first time on here, so you gotta do that.
Yeah. What intro is that? Oh,
You're welcome.
come on, man. I haven't even uploaded my review yet. Even that I can't get done.
Why not?
Been working, bro.
Was there anything, Brago, have you read the Viz?
God, Jesus Christ, Lando.
Yeah, goddamn, bro, you working on a fucking card on?
Like, are you at work now?
No, bro. Because
Yeah, you changing your oil?
Shit.
Yo,
Yo.
Yo.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sounded better, actually.
It's on my mat now. It's a microphone, but I can't hear you guys through the headphones. I'm hearing you guys through the computer. So if I don't hear what you said, just call it a day.
Nah, you sound great, though.
Yeah, I
You
know
sound
because I'm using the Yeti. But anyway, man, let's go.
Yeah, we're ready. Yo, Lando, real quick question.
Yeah,
What's that voice you use in your videos?
what voice is
You
that?
use a specific voice and cadence in your videos.
I did what?
You use a specific voice and cadence in your
You get a
videos.
different Jamaican guy to talk for.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't. No. With my videos, I get
It's like
time to.
katakuri.
Yeah, I
Like-
slow down my voice and
He's intellectual Jamaican.
Yeah.
say what?
You say yeah, intellectual Jamaican. That's what it's called.
Man, just get on with the video, bro. I'm like, bro, you have no idea. I'm dying right now, bro.
Got 10 minutes.
All right, Lando, give your general
We're just
thoughts
gonna
on
let
the
you talk then for
yeah.
10 minutes straight, then, Lando.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good. Lead us
Nah,
off.
bro,
Do the
just-
intro.
Get your rocks off.
So where do we
Do the
start?
intro.
Let me pull a chapter up for a minute.
You gotta do what Brago does.
Wait,
So,
you-
chapter 925.
Anyway, bro, what is the sound though?
What you say, Lando?
What is the sound? The voice? You like it?
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, we can get it on then.
Whoa, slow down. Gotta take me on a date first.
Lando, it doesn't matter how many times in a row you say, let's get it on.
Right? You gotta take me on a date first, Lando. I don't do that.
Yeah, let me pull this chapter up. Oh shit.
Wait, so you're saying let's go and you don't have the chapter up?
No, because I was having on my phone. I was on a sleep while talking. I had to pull it off.
Yeah. Thoughts on the cover page, guys. And the chapter is called Absence in the Viz, by the way.
Absence.
Yeah.
I'm blank.
Abstinence.
No.
Absence.
Me hawking
Exactly
Corona. The cover page is Corona and the Black Cats. What do you guys make of that? Any particular thoughts on that?
To be honest, I haven't read a cover page in like.
Oh, Froob. Oh, Froob.
It is kind of interesting though.
I didn't really analyze it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Kind of did.
I just did the typical folklore of Black
This
Cats.
occasionally happens with
Yeah.
some of them where it's like, you remember that one time there was like a color spread? This was the same chapter that Hawkins showed up, but there was like Basil on like Nami's handbag or something.
Yeah.
And that happened to be the same chapter that Hawkins showed up. I don't think there's really any other significance than just Oda saying, oh, look, I did it this time, kind of thing.
Well, the thing is, I remember like the Sentamaru. He was on the cover page recently, and something in the chapter kind of referenced him in an off.
What was this?
Yeah, like a couple
I
chapters.
think I
ago.
referenced him. I'm trying to remember. what
Yeah,
chapter
it was
you're talking
something.
It was on the cover?
about. It had something to do with like a.
Yeah, he was like babysit, like I don't know, doing something for bears.
It was like 2 weeks ago, or
Yeah.
not, or 2 chapters ago.
Yeah. It was weird, but something in the chapter reminded me of Sentamaru. So I don't know if that's the thing
Oh.
Oda's doing now.
It could be. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually don't. I remember what you're talking about. That's odd.
I would tell you, but for some reason, Jermaine's box isn't loading on my computer right now.
Giant Minis is not loading on mine either.
Yeah,
It's
not
done,
loading
I
on
think.
mine either.
Is this the first time we ever seen a cover page? Like correlate to the characters inside the chapter.
No, that's what we were saying. It's been happening a
It
bit
happens
more.
infrequently, but it happens.
Yeah, it's been happening a bit more recently. Oh, so yeah, at the beginning of the Viz, it shows Sentamaru. He's
They always
chopping
show the
wood.
previous-
She's chopping wood for bears, and
Oh.
that chapter had something that reminded me.
Was
of
there
him.
something about Kuma or something in that chapter?
Yeah, something. It was something. But yeah, any significance with the cover page, Lando?
Well, I mean, if looking at the foreshadowing, that cats are black cats always bring bad news. I mean,
That's what I thought as well. That was my assessment. Like, okay, Black Cat's bad news.
What really intrigued me is that after I skipped the first page on the cover page, I thought it was a continuation because I saw Perona. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Kind of caught me off guard.
Did you guys see? Go back and read 592.
No, what is that?
No.
So chapter 592, Ale. That's the chapter in which Perona finds out Moria had died on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right after moving forward?
Right.
Yes.
So she found out Moria had
I
died
think
on
it
the
was
battlefield.
Miyako told her, right?
No, it was same exact setting.
Okay.
Same exact setting. So 592, 925. So they had it.
He keeps doing that shit, man. What the fuck?
Trust me, it's by coincidence,
it was freaky.
It's not by coincidence. It happens way too.
At this point, you can't say it's coincidence though.
Yeah, it happens way.
Not at this point. No.
It's so many, dude.
Because
There's
remember
just
this
so
one.
many.
Oh, so the 592 and 925, right? The same digits. We had the 100 chapters exactly for Kid being in the cell.
Mm-hmm.
That was another one. Like, it's happening more and more. Like, I don't think
November
it's
22nd, 200 years ago, Blackbeard was killed, right? And
something
November,
like that with the real Blackbeard pirate. So
Yeah,
it's,
I saw a comment on, I think it was your video, Brago. I'm not sure if this is true or not. This might be fake news, but apparently, like the actual like Blackbeard, the pirate in real life, he was worth like his bounty in real life was worth like 100 pounds or whatever.
that's what somebody's saying.
Yeah, and today the like inflation would be equal to like what that much yen.
That's too far, no, bro.
I mean, bro, Oda is going.
Drizzt, where are you to be negative, bro? Shoot these guys down, bro.
What am I going to be negative about?
You're like internet to Oda, though. So
I can be negative if I choose to, but I mean, like, they're not talking about anything that's like, I would be like, oh, you can't say that. That's ridiculous. But
No,
I also know that the real life Blackbeard, his what is it? His age is like unknown. It's kind of like also like a weird thing.
Yeah.
Where they guess between his age, and that's kind of the same thing with the Blackbeard in One Piece as well.
Yeah, Oda, it's definitely a parallel there. Oda's playing.
Yeah,
over
for
it.
sure.
But in 592, it shows the growth of Mihawk's and Perona's relationship. So it was really enjoyable reading that chapter and going and reading this new chapter.
Well.
Yeah, it went from you're here and I don't really want you here to like I'm letting you live here now, and I actually it's showing like I actually care about you.
You know, it's crazy how many people didn't even notice that in this chapter. Like, whenever I saw other people covering it, they're just like, yeah, they're big. And I'm like, you're completely misinterpreting the entire relationship here. Like, you're just
the relationship, it's more so now, it looks like it's like a younger sister. You know what I mean? Like, he looks at her that way. Like, I don't.
It's more equivalent to a father.
Something like that. I don't view it in any way sexual or he is, you know what I'm saying? I don't look at it that way at all. I know it's a joke.
The thing is, like, the reason I thought that it was more like father is because in an SBS, Oda once commented on the relationship between Moria and Perona and said that Perona views Moria as a father.
Yeah.
And so after she got separated from Moria, she basically found a replacement.
Well, then I would say uncle.
Something of that nature where it's like a authoritative male figure.
Yeah.
It's either one or the other, though. It's either Miyagi values her companionship or he values her labor.
He does.
But for sure, though, he does value something that she offers.
Here's the thing. I think Mihawk, there's been a huge change in Mihawk's character between pre-time skip and post-time skip. Pre-time skip, Mihawk didn't actually really care about people, and that's actually changed because now he looks at newspapers for Luffy and Zoro. Ever since he met Luffy and Zoro, he's kind of changed.
So when he's first shown up,
me though, Drizzt.
Wait,
what's that?
Why?
That's especially with Zoro. With Luffy, it's fine. With Zoro, if Mihawk and Zoro develops like an emotional bond, there could be a conflict of interest when they eventually fight.
Yeah, why?
Zoro, I mean, Mihawk and Shanks fought all the time, and they're basically friends.
Yeah, people mention that, but we don't know the details between their friendship or their duels. If Zoro and Mihawk have a master-student relationship, and Mihawk doesn't really go all out in the eventual fight, it might be boring for most people, and I think that's why most people don't want to fight.
I think Mihawk is too honorable to do something like that.
Yeah,
also,
I mean, you gotta think, like,
but that's the thing, though.
Swordsman, they
really
would never.
Okay, assuming Zoro and Mihawk do actually fight, you really think that Oda's just gonna ruin it on some dumb shit like that?
Well, here's the thing, though. Many people don't want to actually fight. That's one of the reasons why most.
No, Lando, I understand what you're saying because I was there when I first saw that Zoro went to him for help. That's where I was because I didn't want a connection between them that way. But we're already here. So I think we just have to accept that, they have a relationship, but I don't think that's going to undermine. It's not going to
I
undermine the
think it
fight.
changes depending on what you think Mihawk is going to go to fight Zoro for. Because for me, Mihawk's purpose has changed to he's supposed to prepare Zoro for something. Because whenever this is something what happened in Rurouni Kenshin too, which Odo was a part of.
Yes.
Where it's like the master, the sensei there was used to prepare the main protagonist for something that he needed to do. Like he needed to learn something before going into like the final battle.
And it's perfect.
How to see invisible people.
In this chapter that we got
defeat his sensei, going all out, basically almost killing him. In order to,
what do you think Mihawk is preparing Zoro for?
I think it could be Shiryu.
I think it's different. I think Zoro has to fight Shiryu in order to be able to beat Mihawk.
Oh, really?
I think it's
the other way around. Here's the reason why I think that. So we know that Mihawk's original name was supposed to be like clairvoyant, right?
Right.
Yes.
And I think it's more reasonable now to admit that Mihawk, especially since he can basically defeat all techniques just by looking at them, that he has something to do with like you're going to be able to have amazing observation hockey to be able to stop that, because he saw through Vista's attack as soon as he saw it, and whenever he fought Zoro originally, he defeated his attack right away. Like he actually can see the flaws in how to defeat all techniques, and so to be able to counter
looking at Vista though.
What's that?
Was Mihawk even looking at Vista?
No, he countered Vista. He parried Vista pretty easily.
Originally did his flower attack.
Yeah.
Mihawk saw it, and then he just like swiped it away.
Yeah.
Like he can tell how to defeat it.
Yeah, he parried it pretty easily. And I think that comes with experience as well. You know, where it's like,
defeat Mihawk, you have to be able to get to that point.
Wait. And that only happened in the anime or the manga? Because I don't remember that in the manga. I think that's only anime only. No, I think that's only anime only, if I remember correctly. I think Tai mentioned this once. I don't want to use Tai as a source for intellectual property, but but I do believe Tai did say it's an anime alone. But go on, Drizzt.
Regardless, even if it's an anime only moment, I don't think that really takes away from the significance of like how how clairvoyant Mihawk actually seems to be in terms of just everything.
Yeah.
And because I don't see Mihawk's role being something like dying to Shiryu, and I don't think Oda would sully the fight between them, I feel like Shiryu has to be used to prepare Zoro for Mihawk, and then Mihawk will prepare Zoro for like the final war.
Because don't you believe that Shiryu might defeat Mihawk?
I don't think it's possible.
I think he will.
I mean, many people champion that idea because they think it might be exciting.
Well, with the recent Vivi cards, I actually think it's impossible.
What do you say that?
Well, the reason I say that is because my entire perspective on Mihawk has changed over the past few years, and how I view Mihawk's strength is completely different than how I viewed it before. I don't think Shiryu could ever get to the point that he would be stronger than Mihawk.
Well, no, I don't. I think so as well, but I think the way that the story
is a plotline that I could see proposed like this. So we know that Mihawk cares about Perona. Perona's going to Blackbeard. If Mihawk goes alone and tries to like save Perona from some perceived danger from Blackbeard, and that ends up basically him against the entirety of the Blackbeard crew, I could see Mihawk dying.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think it's important to note that like Shiryu has the clear fruit. So like he's definitely gonna like do some shady shit with that when it comes to like assassinating someone important in the series, and I definitely think it might be Mihawk. Like he pulls some like crazy like attack off on him.
Just back to the earlier point about how you view Mihawk's power. Is it because Oda said Mihawk is waiting for someone stronger than Shanks? Is that the reason why? I heard you and Dan going at it. Oh God, I don't know how to interpret that. The obvious interpretation is that Zoro will indeed surpass Shanks in strength, but
really,
I think so, yeah.
If he's waiting on someone stronger than Shanks,
I think better as a better swordsman than Shanks, not stronger.
Well, Brago, that's up for debate. If you ask Dan, he would say yes, but if you ask somebody else, because Zoro fanboy.
Well, here's the thing for me.
Overall strength.
I perceive Shanks and Mihawk on the exact same level.
Drizzt, the hate's gonna come, bro.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, I agree. The reason I do that is because it's kind of similar to Luffy and Zoro.
Yes, I agree.
That Luffy and Zoro were actually equal in strength.
Thank you. Not only that, he also said in the green data books as well.
Right. Although you can make an argument this is pre-time skip versus post-time skip, but with how things are going in Wano with the supposed matchups, it seems more like that's going to be the case still.
When I was listening to Dan's argument about Mihawk being so inferior to Shanks in hockey, I have to ask him this one question. Even if Mihawk surpassed Shanks in swordsmanship, let's say Shanks and Mihawk clash, and they both armament their sword. Why wouldn't Shanks break Mihawk's sword?
Well, I don't know if the argument is that Shanks has better version of every hockey, because like the way my headcanon was is that Mihawk's a better swordsman, but Shanks has other qualities that make them equal.
But that qualities most time have been implied to be hockey.
Right, which I just think it's probably something like if Conquerors is supposed to be useful in the series, I'd imagine it'd be that.
Yeah.
It's just so weird to me because I never entertained the idea that Mihawk and Shanks were ever equal.
Neither did I until recently.
Wait.
No, I'm kind of considering it to be actual true.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't know. I still don't think that he is, but
I can see the argument being made for either or. Like, if you want to say Shanks is stronger than Mihawk, I'm actually fine with that. It's like I'm not going to be like butthurt about it. I can actually see that argument, but I think for sure you have to argue that they're very similar in strength.
Yes, I believe that argument to be made.
If they fight, it's going to be a high fight. It's not going to be it's not going to be a pushover. If Shanks is overwhelming.
Well, my whole
Mihawk.
thing is that I think that they are pretty close, but I think Shanks is stronger. And I think that the reason Mihawk is afraid to fight Shanks is because he knows that he has a chance to lose, and if he loses to a swordsman with one arm, he's gonna like just pretty much lose all of his pride.
Where would you get the belief to believe that? Where does Mihawk's personality come off? Is that he would be ashamed to do that?
Well, first off, he seems really prideful, and second off,
right.
If you both the times that Mihawk and Shanks in Marineford and in the early series in East Blue, both times he or Shanks, like, I think asked him to duel or whatever, and he pretty much declined and said something about his arm.
No, that was only once. That was only in East Blue.
Oh, okay. Well, regardless.
And that kind of, like, to say
I'm pretty
that,
sure he said something similar.
Was the context of what kind of relationship they could possibly have. Because if Shanks was capable of defeating Mihawk, then Mihawk would fight him. It's like saying Mihawk won't fight Zoro now because Zoro's blind in one eye.
Well,
which is a good analogy. That's a good analogy.
I don't think that's I don't think that's good
extreme.
Yeah, because
we don't even know if Zoro's eye is a Sharingan or not.
And we don't know the relationship between Mihawk and Shanks to the full degree to get context on it. So it's like the same.
Well,
argument.
yeah, obviously, I agree with that, but
yeah, I think I wouldn't. Personally, if I'm in Mihawk's shoes, I'm not fighting Shanks again with one arm.
Yeah, I'm just explaining my headcanon. That's just what makes sense to me.
Yeah,
like
let me ask you guys this though.
No.
is Mihawk and Shanks being close in strength implies that may be the same dynamic between Luffy and Zoro at the end of the series?
I knew you were going to be on this, Lando. Something just like someone asked me the other day, Lando, who was the worst Zoro stan between you and Froob, and I said it was you 100.
Wait, you can't forget Quietly.
Me between Froob. Yeah, Quietly's wild.
Quietly, he's on Twitter saying he praises Zoro.
Yeah, but Quietly's kind of a troll. Lando is like, yeah.
No, thing is, I think Shanks is stronger than primarily.
Yes,
I agree 100%. Why is that even an argument?
No, because people are saying that Zoro is going to surpass Shanks. I don't think so. I don't think that's the case at all.
I think he will, but
I don't think so. So that's how I look at the relationship.
Well, the thing is like what we were just talking about, like Mihawk and Shanks are pretty much equals. Whether you look one way or the other, I mean,
I think Shanks is stronger, but Mihawk is on his level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But either way, like I think he's gonna have to surpass him, which would mean that he would be on Shanks' level.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I'm not saying he's not gonna be on that level. Like, really, he's on Shanks' level, but Shanks is stronger.
I don't even know if that's true.
Really?
Primarily, I think he's talking about
primarily.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, it's possible.
Well, I mean, like, I think that's a feasible argument, but like the point of surpassing Shanks, I feel like it becomes more probable in the sense that Zoro is going to become stronger in the final arc. It's like after Hawk, that isn't his limit, I don't think.
Well, it depends on how everything plays out.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends how you see it playing out. I actually don't really know, but I just think that Shiryu is going to be the very last person he fights.
Not to jump the gun here, guys, but I saw a video of a King of Lightning a while ago. He was talking about Mihawk being in trouble. And he kind of implied that if the government sent an admiral, Mihawk might be good as done.
No.
Am I the only one who believes that Mihawk is stronger than an admiral?
I don't think he's stronger than an
admiral. The only
admiral
that can defeat Mihawk is probably a Akainu. That's it.
I agree, because I'm like, if you don't send an admiral plus some vice admirals, you're not getting Mihawk.
Here's the thing: I don't think Mihawk can beat an admiral, but I don't think an admiral is beating Mihawk. So I think Mihawk is right around their level. And the thing is, for the world, it doesn't make sense for them to send an admiral to apprehend Mihawk. They didn't want to apprehend Rayleigh at Sabaody. Why would they go after the world's strongest swordsman?
Maybe symbolism, you know? To show that they're actually serious.
I don't think so.
And abolishing the warlords.
No, bro, because okay, they abolished the warlord system, right? Now they're just pirates.
Yes.
So what makes these pirates so different for them to send admirals for these specific pirates? Why wouldn't you just send an admiral for the Straw Hats? Send several admirals for the Straw Hats. You know, Robin's on the crew.
Well, at the same time, I think like if you want to argue for like Lando or / King of Lightning's point, you would then say, then why would Mihawk suggest that it would be dangerous at his island?
No, because the thing is now he's not protected by the world government. I think other people are going to show up. Not
like
just
pirates?
Other pirates, yeah. I don't think just the world government is not going to go after Mihawk. That's not their focus right now. Especially because what I said is think about Mihawk as a threat to the world government. Mihawk just wants to be left alone. Why would you bother him?
Yes, I agree with that point.
I mean, as far as we know, actually, though.
As far as we know, I mean, but that's been his portrayal from the beginning of the series.
Yeah.
Like he's
to be fair, the most proactive warlord at the very moment, he's probably Buggy.
Buggy, that's what I said. As far as no. Well, I said the warlord you would go after before any of them is Weevil, right? Because Weevil was in the newspaper recently, and I don't think it was for anything positive, right? So if anything, you're going after Weevil first, then probably Buggy. Even Boa is not that high on the list for them.
Speaking about Buggy, I don't want to jump too far, but he's not going to left out anyway. I think the trade deal that King was talking about with Jack is with Buggy.
I saw a lot of people mention that. Possibly.
That's a good idea.
Possibly. I said that when I thought about it, I was like, it's a good idea.
If anyone were to replace,
I didn't even think about that. That's actually
I don't think about that either.
If anyone were to replace Doflamingo, I mean,
yeah,
Buggy seems like the perfect candidate.
I don't know. Well, I was saying that who's going to replace Doflamingo now? I don't know why Stussy came to mind. That she may somehow because Dukefeld is no longer around. So I don't know. Stussy came to mind for me.
I don't believe it's gonna be Stussy because you can't use women to get anywhere, and Stussy's
Oh my god!
Okay. Get anywhere, bro.
All right, that's where he went with.
Just not a position to be a leader or anything, bro. It's just
fair. It's not fair, actually, but for Lando, fair. Okay.
I've seen your Twitter, Lando.
Yeah, Lando's Twitter is like,
I gotta go at them, bro. I gotta go at them.
All right, let's talk about Moria.
Logical.
People got mad at me when I said, people were, I guess, frustrated when I said that 320 million. Now, when we look at it, it's not that great.
It's not.
In comparison
Why
to
did they get mad?
Because they were saying, yo, 320 million is still a lot, bro. What are you saying? And I'm like,
no.
When I'm saying, when I was like, it's a lot, but in comparison to Luffy, no,
it's not a lot anymore because the standards have changed.
Yes.
Well, no. When I say when I say it's a lot, like 320 million berry bounty is still something. You're still a prominent pirate, but not. But the thing is, you're not a prominent pirate captain. I think.
Well, let's think about it. Almost all of the important pirates have ridiculously high bounties.
Yes. Because I was thinking like Luffy has 2 people on his crew with that 320 million at this point. That's like 220 million in the grand scheme of things is not a lot anymore. And people are saying, "Yo, 320 million is a lot." It's like, at this point, I don't think so.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think it that way.
Moria is back. When you guys first saw Moria, what do you think? Like, what were your thoughts
when I first saw him?
Yeah.
God.
Were you happy? Were you saying, okay?
Well, I've never been one to actually really like Moria that much. Like, in terms of a villain, I think he's probably one of the worst in the series.
Same.
But he is a good character, which is different. They're not the same thing. Being a good villain and being a good character
I can agree with that.
I enjoy him as a character.
I like Moria's character because of the details we learned about Kaido and stuff. And I appreciated him in this chapter. I thought it was nice.
Yeah,
I actually agree. I think Moria is probably the worst villain in the series.
Yeah, he's not.
But the thing is, you understand his significance showing up now.
Yeah. I liked what he did.
I thought it was perfect placement, right? Okay, so he shows up on the pirate island of Full. Well, okay, so in the viz it says Fullaled. The pirate island of Fullaled.
Full of lead.
Yeah, the pirate.
Wait, I'm confused. It's not Beehive?
No, it says the pirate island of Fullaled. Or Fullaled, whatever. Fullalead.
It's like a rap song.
Yeah.
How is that translation like so?
The translation of that word might actually be they took it in literal terms.
Literal terms, yeah.
Yeah,
might be
probably the
Beehive.
case.
And people are saying that's the same island that was referenced to the Davy Back arc.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I didn't go back and fact check, but so Moria shows up, and we have the corrupt king Avila Pazar. I thought we would get more from him, but they kind of lured him into the into their trap. What do you guys think about the elaborate way they went about showing off everything?
First of all, Moria. I admire his compassion, but that was illogical. To walk in a Yonko's territory and just scream, "Where's Teach?" That's just emotionally driven.
Well, I don't think he was going to fight. I think he was actually seeking an alliance.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
When
Yeah.
That's not the context I got from that, Brago.
No. I think because I think he went in there looking for Blackbeard to get Absalom. So I think he would willing to bargain for Absalom.
Oh, okay.
That's not the same thing as having an alliance.
I think he was really more of kind of just
I
demanding.
think he was just being wild, man.
Yeah, exactly.
No, right. So he went in there looking for him, but I don't think he thought he could beat Blackbeard.
I think it's for me. I don't think he cared.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Like for me, the way I view Moria now is that. So I always questioned because we know that Luffy, whenever he defeats opponents, their ideology changes, and we didn't necessarily see like the full effect of that when it came to Moria until now.
Well, his ideology. Well, I guess you're talking about him caring for his crew now.
Yeah, caring for his crew.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. I think he was doing that to get Teach's attention, like how X Drake showed up on Kaido's Island to get his attention. So I think that's what he was doing. So I think once he saw Blackbeard, it wasn't going to be yo fight me. It was going to be yo where's
if that
Absalom?
was the case, then bro, then I don't think he would show regret. Like I did something like he was acting like he was irrational in his own case because he hurt civilians. He's like, oh, I did something bad there, as if he couldn't control what he was doing because he was so obsessed with getting Absalom back.
Emotionally driven to the point of, okay, I just want to get my crewmate back. But once you're in the face of someone like Blackbeard, he said when he became face to face with the Titanic captains, he didn't do anything. He became rational then.
In what way? How did he become rational?
Because he didn't attack. He didn't attack any of them.
Well, no. To be fair, I mean the way that scene kind of went out was like he got surprise attacked by Shiryu, and then Blackbeard said something to him immediately. Like we didn't see what happened.
No. Look at the last. Look on one of the panels when after Blackbeard was talking. He's standing there. Katarina Vaughn is literally right in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I get what Bob was trying to say.
Isn't that while Blackbeard's still talking? Isn't he talking on the intercom that entire time? Or
yeah.
Did I miss her? Oh yeah. So.
And you could also make the argument that whenever Moria saw the captains, that's basically something you can get to Blackbeard for. Like before then, he was just basically just talking to fodder.
Yeah. I think he was just trying to get their attention. I don't think Moria went in there because I think at this point Moria, I was saying he was suffering from loneliness. Where at this, who does he have to depend on at this point?
No,
really,
right,
no
one. Hogback.
Yeah,
you know. So for me, I think he cares about his crew, but I believe he's trying to come back. He's trying to make a comeback.
Well, actually, here's a curious thing I want to ask you then, Brago. So no one's been asking this question. I think I was one of the only people to ask it. Is why did Absalom go there to begin with?
Yeah, that would be my next question.
Intel.
Why did he go there?
Because here's the thing, right? So we know that Absalom is actually a journalist.
News.
Yeah. So what's the reason of him going there? It's like you just don't randomly go to a Yonko's territory for no purpose.
Well, he might have been trying to get the scoop on
the scoop.
Well, yeah, but if that was the case, then how did Moria know where he was?
Well, he probably tells Moria shit.
Like, hey, I didn't contact you. Sorry.
They're probably in contact. Did it say that they weren't in contact?
Yeah. Like, what's the vid say? Because in the Giant Minis, Devon used Absalom to say like, "Hey, sorry, I couldn't contact you. I was just
said I forgot to contact you."
Yeah,
I feel like he was keeping contact. He just forgot.
Well, hold on. Before we go deeper,
why would Moria allow him to go to a Yonko's territory? Because Moria knows that's Blackbeard's territory.
Yeah.
Wait. The person that said the person that said I forgot to contact you. That was Katarina.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Drizzt is using on the same dialogue on the proof that he's been keeping contact.
I'm implying that like.
So how did Moria find out that
things just to be taken as one? It's either Moria has his own agenda, or Moria and Absalom could be being used by someone else.
That's like an interesting point. It might
because like otherwise, like does Absalom just randomly? Is it all chance, or is there a reason behind it?
I understand what you're saying.
Might be a reason.
Like, the way I was thinking is like, so if Absalom is actually in any way tied to the world government, then this could be like tied to them being more interested in Blackbeard. Because Absalom, the invisible man, is going to the place that Blackbeard's at.
So Absalom is a journalist. Who does he report to?
He does newspapers for the world government.
So he's like a freelancer, right?
Yeah, he's like a freelancer. Yeah.
So for him, I would probably manipulate him in a way.
Just to piggyback up Judd's point, it does seem awfully convenient that Absalom is going there, being a journalist after Shanks told the Gorosi about a certain pirate.
Right.
there could be a connection being drawn here.
Yeah,
That's kind of the implication I want to do. Look, it's
Yeah.
kind of far fetched, but like that's what I want to think.
that could be this case where someone kind of led Absalom there as far as the scoop on the Blackbeard Pirates as far as where they would be, and then that person would probably let Moria know like, hey, this is where he is as well.
How did he messed up though? Because I mean,
Who? Absalom?
observation hockey should be able to sense him.
The thing is, Absalom. Okay, so we're saying Absalom's using the invisible fruit, the clear fruit.
Yeah.
How? What do you think his level of mastery was?
Yes, I already mentioned. I mean, your review that is different for him versus Shuru.
Yeah. So
In terms of-
I think he went in there like thinking
some
he was
fuck on
invincible. I think thinking that okay, they can't see me, I'll be okay. Not
You
knowing when you're on that level, observation hockey, you can sense people.
But Brago,
Hmm?
why didn't Doflamingo sense him with Moria?
Well, Doflamingo hasn't been.
It could be just
portrayed-
he's not high enough hockey level.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
It also could be plot circumstances. Like you could think of like Absalom's an idiot, and there are a bunch of women there. So
Yeah,
maybe he's just
another
like,
thing is,
"Ooh,
like-
goo, 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 goo," and, like he
Yeah.
did something. It's like, oh, there's an invisible guy
to slip
here.
up,
Yeah.
and the Blackberry Pirates, they're not gonna miss that opportunity.
I think he tried to perv on
Katarina Devon.
Devon
But,
and
no, but there are other women there too.
I think it might be harder to see
Yeah, I think
invisible
witches.
people than we might be giving credit for. Like a lot of people are just saying, like, "Oh, isn't the clear fruit kind of trash?" So you can just see with observation hockey. It might be a lot
It's only
harder than
trash
we.
when it's handled by someone that's trash.
Exactly.
Someone on the level of Shiryu having the invisibility fruit is actually broken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, him. I mentioned Saber in Face Day Night. She hit her blade. She suppressed her power and hit her blade, so you couldn't see the length of her blade. So when you're
I'll
fighting
give-
her, you can
Go on.
basically you can counter and parry really well because you didn't know how long her sword was.
I made a reference to a different character in my review. Do you know Milorion on Frontex Hunter?
Yes.
Perfect plan? Kind of
Yeah.
complex?
Okay.
Those
well, yeah.
abilities-
Okay.
Yeah, if he were to implement those abilities where he can make his techniques invisible or undetectable, that would be
I'm
crazy.
sure he can. Like Absalom was able to make other things invisible, so I'm sure
Huh?
Shiryu will be able to.
Like his techniques? Sword slash?
Yeah.
Oh shit, Zoro might have a difficult time fighting this guy.
No,
on Mihawk.
that's the thing. But having the invisible fruit, initially I said, that's the best he could do. But then you think about is the clear fruit. What else can he clear?
Probably his mind. I heard
That-
him make reference to that in the review.
Clearing his mind and using observation hockey on another level could be something he was chasing. But the reason Shiryu did not get this fruit for no reason. There was a reason why he got this fruit.
But Brago sure got you shot though.
Shiryu? Yeah,
You
because
saw that
initially I
smoke,
saw it was smoke. It looked like smoke. I didn't think invisible right away.
You got Smoker.
I was like, "Oh, what are you doing? You fucked up. Don't take Smoker out. Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't build up Smoker that much and then have him get off screen by shit at you.
That would be awful.
That would be
That would be
terrible.
awful.
That would be
That
terrible.
That would be amazing.
Fuck out of here, Froob. That would be terrible. But you know what?
One-
This made me like the Black Bear Pirates a lot more because they're just so different from the Straw Hats.
The one
Right.
thing I want to know though is what's the rationale behind choosing fruits? Because he has so many choices. Why choose a clear fruit?
Well, that's another thing. Maybe it's a
Is he
lot.
like
Like, it might be a lot stronger than people give it credit for.
Yeah, of course it is. Like if someone strong got Caribou's fruit, there would be.
Well, it also could be just like, for me, it's kind of like in the grander scheme of things, because they kind of knew that they needed Whitebeard's fruit in order to do whatever it is they needed to do in the future. And
Okay.
it could be that, like, all according to Blackbeard's plan, they actually needed this
they
fruit
need
all
these
along.
fruits.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people just like intuitively think, wait, okay, so observation hockey kind of just negates this fruit. Anyone with decent observation hockey can just the fruit's useless, but it might be a lot harder to actually sense someone that is.
Do you blame
invisible
them,
than you
Froob?
think. Oh no, I don't
Yeah,
blame them at all.
yeah.
I thought the same exact thing when
Yeah.
I first saw it, and then I thought about it a little bit more. I'm like, oh, maybe it's
If this was a different series, I would say okay. But it's One Piece and how inconsistent observation hockey has been. It wouldn't be
Hockey,
surprised
yeah.
if like it comes to the end of the fight and then he's detected by observation hockey, just because of that. So I'm not mad at people for thinking that just having a clear fruit. And it's like, well, observation hockey should be able to cancel that out. Like, what is he gonna do when he's fighting someone like Fujitora? what do you think his counter to that is?
I don't know, he gives Fujitora eyes so he can't see them.
Probably be like Luffy.
Like Fujitora already can't see, so being invisible doesn't matter.
That's his natural counter.
Exactly. What do you guys think about Katarina? I liked her swag this chapter,
broken
man.
fruit in the series, bro.
I liked her a lot.
What?
The most
How
broken.
can you even say that?
Trust me. If the lore is correct,
you realize the op fruit exists.
yo, Brago, if the lore is correct, where a mythical nine-tailed fox can turn to anyone they actually see, there's nowhere she can infiltrate anywhere.
But that's not broken.
Brago, that is broken.
I mean, it's definitely useful.
If you look at Mr. 2, need to touch.
It's
someone.
useful. It's not broken, Lando. You need to calm down.
It's not broken.
unless it's something in which she can, petrify you or some random shit like
Lando,
that.
they already have someone with a clear fruit. How broken is it actually?
You ever think Law's fruit is broken? I think that's
Those
broken.
Beedrill bombs, bro. Like,
But when you think of Law's fruit, Lando, Law's fruit, as far as just what it can do, that's actually broken, bro. He can switch
kidding,
personalities.
The perfect word would probably be one of the most resourceful fruits.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I understand what you're saying. It definitely can be very, 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 very useful. And this is the same thing with the clear fruit. It's on top of the fighting strength of the fruit. It could potentially be very, very useful.
Well, the thing is, think about the fruits they have. They have a fruit that can negate other devil fruits, right? I'm not sure if Blackbeard has the ability to, I don't know, use the fruit to travel between dimensions. I don't know if that's going to be
crazy. That would be something.
I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but if they can do that, like we say Shanks can time travel. If they can do that, and you cloak your fleet, right, and you travel to someone's territory, and you infiltrate the world government first with Katarina to open whatever gates.
Yeah,
they don't notice you're there until the entire fleet is upon them. That's you can
remember
in application. I don't think it really works that way. It's like saying Blackbeard snuck in the Marineford with San Juan Wolf. It just happens.
Well,
plus, remember Lafitte who can hypnotize.
Yeah, so they have a lot of things in which they can infiltrate.
They're very
it's just the point that they have it.
Yeah, they can bring down a lot of people with the powers that they have.
Yeah, if used for that purpose.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I think that the main target on Blackbeard's radar is going to be Shanks for obvious reasons, because Shanks is the only person that we know probably that is that strong without a devil fruit. And Blackbeard is kind of like the counter to devil fruits with the darkness fruit.
Shanks
so like
may be
Shanks
the only
is,
person he views.
Yeah, so like he's probably gonna do Shanks like super dirty in some way, shape, or form. And I think sure you might have
make him eat a devil fruit, then take it away.
Wait,
Katarina's gonna dress up as Rockstar.
Wait, Brago.
Yeah,
I get why people might assume that Blackbeard might do Shanks dirty. Why do we keep act like if Blackbeard can't outright beat Shanks?
It's not implied that he can.
Why.
It's
I just told you why.
It's implied. Well, no, for Blackbeard's character, it's implied that
being able to take out devil fruit, he does one ability for Blackbeard. You still have Black Vortex, Black Hole.
I'm not.
Listen, but Lando, think about the things that Blackbeard has done. Blackbeard had the opportunity to fight Akainu by himself. With his entire crew.
That was 2 years ago.
But he still had those abilities. I know. I hear you.
Well, I think it's more like a portrayal thing for me, Lando, where it's like he doesn't think his entire crew is ready to beat Shanks yet. Like for me, Blackbeard only does things when he knows he has a 100% chance of winning.
Yeah,
calculated.
So like he does things by the book. So he's only going to defeat Shanks when he thinks like he already knows
he has to have the one up
so
on
this
Shanks.
This is my headcanon, okay? So we have to assume that the four Yonko right now are pretty equal in strength, even though that there's some might be stronger than others. Realistically, it's all extreme diff versus extreme diff. So when we think about Blackbeard's power and why he's so OP, a lot of the reason that he's OP is because he can negate other people's powers. And if you take that away, like if that isn't factored into another matchup, you're losing like a huge part of why you're OP in the first place.
Yes. No, it's an amazing power. It's an amazing ability for him to take away your devil fruit that you've been with for most of your life.
Let me respond to Froob for a minute. I get that perspective, but you're talking about Blackbeard, a character who was already deemed to be command level before even attaining a fruit. It's like I understand that a huge portion of his powers is he may be able to do that, but I don't want to underestimate.
We're talking about Shanks, who was a Yonko by what 20 something.
But Bragg, if I really want to go crazy
Uh,
right now, I'll probably say Blackbeard did indeed scar him basically
I don't
by
know.
fighting him.
It depends how strong you think Shanks is, because a lot of people think Shanks is the strongest person in the series right
yeah,
now.
Yeah, I mean they call him the God King.
that's.
I don't believe that. I think it's Kaido, but
That's
still.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's
You
Kaido
don't
as
really
well.
have culture, Froob.
That's Red Force. You know. Yeah.
This man put a.
I know, for me, it's like this. So Blackbeard is only going to fight Shanks when he's already surpassed Yonko level.
Yes.
Mm.
He's when he completes the trifecta.
Well, because
of
like
whatever
whenever
his fruit
Luffy
is.
fights Blackbeard, that's already past Yonko level.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then
Yeah.
they're fighting for the Power King title. Yeah, so I think Blackbeard, once he completes the trifecta, whatever the next fruit is, I
Right.
think that's when he's gonna feel like, okay,
That's when he's
nobody.
going to actually go after
yeah,
Shanks. Or
nobody
if
can
Shanks
beat me
even makes
now.
the first move and goes after Blackbeard.
I think
But I
Shanks
don't
is.
think
I think
that-
Shanks
I
is actually looking for him now.
I
Yeah.
do
I
not
do
believe
believe that
that
as well.
Shanks is going to be defeated in a straight up 1v1 by Blackbeard. I think that he's going to scumbag him in
I
some
think
way.
it's just too
That's
good.
completely possible.
Possible.
I hear you, but it's as far as okay. So do you think Shanks is gonna be defeated?
You asking me? Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I think it's too good for the story for Shanks to go down.
I think he'll be killed.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Death is even better.
I think he'll be
No,
killed.
I like Shanks a lot, but I think death is better for the
It would be
story,
amazing.
right?
Last
Especially,
time I made a video about it, Drizzt.
especially if okay, what would be better, before he meets Luffy again or after?
Before.
After.
After?
Why you say
I think
before?
I think,
before.
I think it's before.
I disagree.
I mean, that's gonna feel like a train.
You know why? You know why I would say after? Because I think when Luffy meets Shanks again, as strong as Luffy is, Shanks is going to show him that there's another level, right?
Nah,
Oh.
I don't think that they're ever
I
going to
don't,
meet
I
again.
don't necessarily think that's it. For me, it's more of like a symbolic and thematic meaning.
Mm.
I
The
think
thing
I
is-
think they have to meet again. They
Oda
have
has to
meet again.
set up
Have to.
Blackbeard as the final villain, or well,
Right.
as one of the final villains. And okay, so he's already set up like that because he pretty much killed Ace. He didn't kill Ace himself, but he was a huge integral part in why Ace died in the first place.
Yeah.
And so to add putting it to where Shanks or Luffy never got to meet up with Shanks, and he killed Shanks before like that whole thing happened, would just add to like the
Yeah,
Then
well,
the series
here's
fight.
the reason why I think that might not be the case, Fu. But like, one, if you guys think the pre-time skip and post-time skip mirror each other pretty well in events,
right.
in some
So-
capacity. Yeah,
yeah. So
Yeah.
Luffy actually met Ace before he died.
Yeah.
like in an arc
Oh, that's a
before.
good. That's a good.
The same thing could happen to Shanks, but another thing is like, it's not just for Luffy's sake that the crew has to meet. This is also for Usopp's sake as well with Yasop.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I don't think
Also, another
Blackbeard's
thing
gonna
is like, for me,
kill
I
his
think Luffy
entire
has to
crew.
internalize something from Shanks, because as far as dreams go, this would be kind of similar to saying like, Zoro's never going to fight Mihawk again. Luffy, I think, has to meet Shanks again.
yeah.
But after they meet, that's whenever Shanks dies.
I think he meets Shanks, and again, I think I would like a sparring contest between the crews. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
and another thing is like, that would definitely be really cool, Brago. But I just don't see Luffy, because like the whole point of him seeing Shanks is for him to return the hat, right? I don't think that he's ever going to return the hat. I don't
No,
I
know.
think Shanks is going to tell him to keep it.
yeah. Why
mean,
would
maybe,
Shanks actually take the hat?
Shanks will say it looks better on you now.
Yeah. Same thing that Rayleigh said.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
The hat's a test. It's not actually like he just did that just so he can improve the chances of someone becoming like the
he
chosen
gave
one.
him
Yeah, that
something
was
to
his
shoot for. It's a goal.
If he took the hat, he'd be taking away the bet.
Yeah, it's a goal. Like once
So
you
Luffy,
do that,
Luffy would try to return it, but Shanks would be like, "Nah."
it looks better on you.
Plus, also, Luffy has more of the hat into his brand.
No. What? That's it.
Luffy-
Shanks is probably going
he
to
has
say
to
you.
keep it.
Shanks is going to say you destroyed the hat. Like this is not the hat I gave you. Because think about everything that hat has been through. You know, and Shanks is going to troll us some way for Luffy to keep the hat. And I think I think we need that moment.
It's kind of fun that all of the opponent and Luffy have fought, Bogey have caused the most harm to the hat.
Dude, plus
Don't do this. Don't.
Honestly,
stop
my,
the
like,
ban.
my headcanon that would be literally the perfect for the story is if after this arc, say Kaido's defeated, if Luffy and them go to Elbaf or whatever, right, and they defeat Big Mom, and then they see that Kid and his lions defeated fucking Shanks and like the thing. I know this is never gonna happen, but that would be like the perfect thing.
Actually,
I'm-
me and Foop talked about this.
I'm
Yeah.
here for Shanks to. Well, don't spoil the neck to neck.
Bro, that name kills me, bro.
I'm always here for Kid and him rising to prominence. If Oda does that, that would be great. I don't think he would do that,
Yeah, I don't think he will.
you know. Well, but that would be awesome for the Supernovas. And then we still have X Drake to reveal and to see exactly what his role is on Kaido's crew. So that'd be dope.
Maybe the ace in the hole.
Because like it would kind of make sense because like the parallel would be there to where Luffy is kind of like you know, like they both team up together to beat Kaido and then they each beat a Yonko by themselves.
That would be great.
Yeah,
that would be amazing. Because
That'd
then
be
it's
Although
like
I think for thematic reasons, I think Blackbeard's involved, but like me and Froob talked about this. I think that kid's just going to be involved with Blackbeard in the takedown of Shanks.
yeah. I mean, I think that
Like,
would
they're
kind
both
of
evil pirates. I think whatever they need to do in order to become the Pirate King, I think Kid would do it. As long as Kid doesn't do it in a way where he's actually being undermined, because obviously we know he won't bow down to authority.
I would like
Yeah.
a kid
But
that
Blackbeard would be
actually
the
took
best person that would be able to take advantage
What if
of Kid and use him for the plot.
What if Kid took out Big Mom?
That could happen.
Yeah, that could definitely happen. But I don't see that happening.
Although he originally had target Shanks, so that's the only reason we're talking about it. Really.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, what's the significance of having Kid target Shanks to begin with if it doesn't matter?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because the thing is there was kind of like a huge bombshell when it happened. Like, oh fuck, Kid's targeting Shanks. I wonder what's gonna happen with that. And then Kaido kind of got shoved in the mix, and like that was pointless.
And also,
like,
you might like this. Yeah,
Why
go
would
for it.
just really quick? Why would Oda introduce that whatsoever if there wasn't going to be anything else to go along with
Well,
it?
maybe they got intel on which on Shanks' whereabouts.
Well,
I understand that, but in like story purposes, that it's just pointless. The only other reason I could think of is if Kid and Shanks have some sort of past together, and that's like foreshadowing.
Shanks' son.
They both do have.
Yeah,
Shanks is
kid.
This might be a headcanon, but I always imagine Hawkins have some part to play in the selection of the Yonkos. I mean, he has his cards. He probably could see
selection
which
of
one
the
is
Yonko?
easy. Well,
Selection,
selection
like he
of
crowns them as a
which one
Yonko?
he goes after, which Yonko they go after on the alliance.
Do you think?
I think
Oh, yeah,
might-
that could be the case.
Do you think
Yeah, I think he might see the Yonko the most chance to be defeated, and maybe
But,
Shanks at the moment.
What do you think about this, Brago? So, in order to like capitalize on Kid's importance, if he's in any way associated with the downfall of Shanks, that gives incentive for the narrative between Luffy and Kid to begin with, in terms of them being rivals. That actually makes it personal, and Kid could just be something that is that's something Luffy has to surpass before he gets the Blackbeard.
That'd be great. I think my main thing, I want there to be obstacles for Luffy. I want it to be a difficult road. You know, I don't mind him failing a few more times. Like, you don't want it.
It's not gonna happen.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, it depends what you mean by failing. If you mean by like getting defeated and then coming back later in the arc and
Yeah.
winning, that's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah.
But in terms-
Yeah,
So,
even that,
Brago,
maybe not even winning. Maybe it's a stalemate. You know what I mean?
Brago, do you see Blackbeard claiming the parking throne first? Is that what you're trying to say? Like he failed in that regard?
Well, no, I was talking about
End goal?
versus Kid.
But do you think he might fail in the end goal though?
No,
Like fail first? No.
Luffy.
Yeah.
Ooh, it depends. It depends
Like
on
Blackbeard
it depends
making
on
it
what
first, then he
what
surpass him?
throne do you view as the most important in One Piece,
The empty throne.
right? So
I would say.
I would say how it's set up now, it makes it seem like Blackbeard is going to get there first, but then story-wise, it's just I feel like Luffy has to become the Pirate King.
Yeah, I mean when though?
Because the thing is, say Blackbeard becomes the Pirate King, if Luffy beats him, is he then now the Pirate King?
Well,
Yeah, I think so,
well,
yeah.
I think so. I would assume so.
Really?
I mean, isn't
Yeah,
that kind of how it works? If you defeat the king, you're now the new king.
Not really.
If you have the army, the military,
what do you
might
mean?
understand
Because
that.
okay,
I would,
because
sure.
okay, say Kaido goes down in Wano, right? And Kid landed the final blow. He's not now the new Yonko.
That's a good point.
Well,
that's big
okay,
news, Morgan.
but you're kind of like,
That's big news. More.
yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, you're kind of like removing the context from it, though. Don't you agree? Like, if Luffy straight up defeats Big Mom 100% on Taro Land, he can claim that island as his own. Obviously, he probably wouldn't do that.
The thing is, because I don't view the Pirate King as like the world's greatest swordsman, where one duel decides it.
well, I
don't
mean, if
feel
you
that way.
kill him,
Yeah, you'd have to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I view it differently. I don't view it like I mean, even Mihawk said it's different.
Difficult. It's
You know,
difficult.
It's more
It's-
difficult.
It's more
to become the
difficult.
Pirate King, you know.
It's more like a package job, right? You
Yeah,
can't
because
just-
I think
one
I
thing.
think even after Luffy becomes Pirate King, somebody's gonna be able to catch him slipping. You know, like
Buggy.
maybe catch him. Like say Buggy captures Luffy. Is Buggy not a pirate king?
Bro, if Buggy ever captures Luffy at any point.
Bro, Buggy is one of those characters that's always gonna be.
Unless he's got a fucking ancient weapon.
Associated with One Piece.
Hmm. What?
Yeah, like that's like the entire point.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
No, I didn't hear say either.
Becoming the Pirate King is essentially just about finding One Piece.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I agree with that.
Otherwise, like the pwnks would be useless, and they'd just be killing the Yonk. Like, yeah, I'm the strongest Yonk. I'm the Pirate King.
Yeah, it's just going around just switching titles. Like Morgan's just reporting every week. Like the new Pirate King is me.
What's the new Pirate King?
The new Pirate King is Brownbeard. Like, no. Can you imagine how fucking wonky that would be?
This might be a minor observation, but do you think Blackbeard laughing and causing quakes is some indication that he might have been close to mastering the fruit or have mastered it before?
Agreed.
Because that's been pretty intense if you really think about it.
I mean, I think that's good.
I think about it all the time.
That's shown.
Okay.
I think that's trying to show him power. Like that was meant to show just where Blackbeard is now.
Well, just meant to show, like, obviously, like before in the pre-time skip, he couldn't really control it that well.
Right.
It shows that right now it's different.
Yeah. Because
so saying master it?
I mean, mastering and having control over is different. I think it's just like to say like he's not the same as he was before.
I thought we've been talking for like an hour and we're still on the first 5 pages.
It's all Lando's fault.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I'm gonna get fired tomorrow.
They said that's the Commodore's earthquake. That's what they said in the official translation.
Oh, that's Laz's earthquake?
Yeah, pretty much. That's the Commodore's earthquake. The revolutionaries and that fight. Okay, well, first, Blackbeard asked Moria to join his ship, to join his crew, pretty much. Does he do it?
No.
Yeah,
Save his life? Sure.
I think he doesn't have a choice.
I disagree.
Well,
I don't think Blackbeard's gonna kill him if he doesn't want to join.
Yeah. I don't think he will either.
Why not?
Because
it just doesn't seem...
you agree that he came in for a purpose. Even if he doesn't agree to come here, either he takes his fruit or he uses him for a purpose.
Right.
This makes like a greater incentive for him coming to Wano.
So my thing is, say he says no to everything. Why would you let him leave with that fruit?
Well, I mean, do you really think that fruit is that good? Like
Moria's fruit?
Yeah, I mean, who is he gonna? Well, okay, first off, who's he even gonna give it to? Burgess? That's the only person he can give it to.
I can see Burgess in the shadows.
I mean, Pinkbeard is out there.
Yeah, I don't think you let someone with that caliber of fruit just walk out of there. No way.
Well, I mean, you don't have to let him walk out of there.
Did you capture him?
I mean, it wouldn't be hard.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard, but then why have Moria when you can just have his fruit?
Well, here's the thing: like, if I don't necessarily think you have to take his fruit because I don't think Moria's plotline's done.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like for now he would just join Blackbeard. Be like, okay.
I mean, it depends. I mean, yeah, I don't necessarily see Moria that way, but it could happen. It's definitely possible.
Yeah,
it is.
Because the thing is, I believe this chapter was basically characterizing the Blackbeard pirates, giving us more of them. And from what we've seen, they don't miss opportunities like this. So I think Blackbeard is tossing him a bone, saying, "Hey, you like partying? Come ride on my ship." And he left out the second part, or I'm gonna kill you and take your devil fruit. Either way.
Well, here's the thing. At the point right now where it's like, I don't know if Moria would be at the point where the death of Absalom would cause him to join Blackbeard.
Yeah, I mean, he's still furious.
If Absalom's dead.
I don't think it's like that serious. I think you're like maybe overhyping it a little bit because like it seemed like a one-off comment that he made. Like, come on, bro, join my ship. We're partying over here. Like I don't think it was like a join my ship. I really, really, really want you, and you could be very useful.
That's what I'm saying.
Mom's like either die.
Yeah, it's not. He threw it out there.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was an ultimatum.
I don't think so.
That's how I viewed it. Because Moria right now, he has no leverage. None. Like, what do you say? No? You just said that they're notorious as ability hunters. And you say no?
Yeah, but the thing is like, if you would have said, Moria, would you like to join my crew? And then Moria said yes or no, I could see that, but he just like skipped over it. Like Moria can just fucking leave if he wants. It's not like, I don't know. That's just kind of how I took it.
I don't think Moria will be allowed to leave, but
because they didn't want. Yeah,
won't be It'd be something like
It's like-
he'd be looking to betray him.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But I think like they didn't want Absalom running around. They killed him.
Maybe I'm not looking at this correctly, but I honestly think that Moria is just gonna take Absalom's body and just fucking.
You think he's getting it back?
Yeah, she said she'd give it to him.
She was trolling.
I don't know. I just don't see.
She mentioned that to mention how much he loved corpses.
I know, bro. I think about now you're pulling the exact same thing that Froob was pulling.
What's that?
This is a reverse argument where he was just like, it's just like a not a literal joining the crew, but it was mentioned. And now you're doing the same thing with Katarina and Absalom's body.
She's not being literal. She's just implying it.
I guess I'm looking at different contexts how they went about things. I'm looking at the entire situation.
I guess it's just how you view Blackbeard, because I kind of just view Blackbeard just like, I don't know. It's not like he doesn't care, but I just think he's like really, really enjoying life right now. Like I think he's just like his island seems like it's just pretty much just complete anarchy. Like
I can see that way where he feels like they already broke Moria, where he just walks out of there like a puppy.
Yeah, so like I think he's kind of like, you can join my crew if you want, blah blah blah. I don't really give a fuck because like you're pretty much a peon to me anyways.
Well, I think Brago have a point because for me, the end of Wano, all Yonko have to be there, and I feel like Moria has to play some role. Otherwise, his narrative with Kaido is meaningless.
Like, what do you do now? What does Moria do now? Do you go to Wano? Do you how do you reintroduce Moria into the story? If you're killing Absalom,
yeah, Blackbeard has to be like, because otherwise Moria has no purpose in the story.
I think he would have to have a benefactor in some way, and I think right now is a perfect opportunity. Moria could take this opportunity and say, "Hey, I can run with this. Having Blackbeard behind me, I can build up my get some crewmates and go back to Wano."
Like that. I feel like he'd be looking at it like someone's just trying to betray him at some point. Like his hands being forced.
100%, but I think he'd have to build himself up before you can betray him.
Well, no, but it's kind of like if he meets Luffy kind of thing. It's like it'll be just one of those plot points where he just helps them at some point.
I just think it's more to Moria now. I don't think Blackbeard just sends him on his way because then
once
we see him again, he'll just be pathetic again.
If he just sent him on his way, there'd be no point of reintroducing him really to that degree.
But
yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe
We'll see. Blackbeard's bounty, quick. Do you care about it? How is it too low, too high?
Oh, it depends.
No, I think it's fun.
It depends on how you view certain factors, though.
Please elaborate.
Explain, Lando.
If Blackbeard,
great explanation, Lando. Thank you.
Yo, Lando 100% put the voice on just now, Drizzt. He fucked up his vibe.
Really?
He put the voice on just now, Drizzt. He's about to get into his bag. Go ahead, Lando. If Blackbeard, go ahead.
In my review, I mentioned this, but I haven't released a review.
When your review coming out? Friday?
It's coming out today, I believe. I'm not Matt B.
Matt B. No,
Anyway,
Matt B just doesn't drop videos. But go ahead.
Blackbeard's bound to the product of 2 years, right? He went from 0 to this.
0 to 2 billion real quick.
If you assume that Big Mom bounties, let's say 1 bill over his or 2 bill over his.
Probably 4.
Well, she has been on this 4 bill over his?
4. No, I say she probably has 4 bill, yeah.
Okay, so her bounty might be 2 bill over his. But the longevity, though, she has been doing this for like 50 years.
A lot
well,
longer.
one thing I would want to note is it.
So if you factor that in, Blackbeard's bounty look pretty impressive for 2 years.
It is. It's 100.
Big Mom's bounty, Kaido's bounty might not be as high as we think it is. Simply because of the fact, if you think about it now, whenever what's his name, Big News kind of deemed Luffy as like the 5th Yonko, it kind of makes a lot more sense because his bounty kind of is in the range of like that Blackbeard bounty. Like if that's around where the Yonko's bounties all are, then that kind of is like a Yonko, quote unquote Yonko level bounty.
So
well, I know that's how you look at it.
Yeah,
you could just view it as like this is like the higher version bounty because Luffy and Blackbeard are both like
somewhat parallel.
Here's what I think, Froob. I think after Blackbeard left Marineford, you got a similar bounty, just like Luffy got. 1.2, 1.3.
Probably, and he got a bump to 2 billion after defeating Marco.
I think that's the starting point. 1.5 for Yonko.
But yeah. So I think after the payback war, you have to give him a bump, right? You have to.
Bump in the butt.
And I think for Kaido back then, before occupying Wano, his bounty was 2 billion. Now he has an alliance with Orochi and the Shogun. You have to give him another bump because he just acquired some more power.
Mhm.
Bump on the butt. Yeah.
Yeah. And for Big Mom, she's had a bounty since she was like what 6.
That's what I'm saying though.
Yeah, I think this is good. This is great for Blackbeard though.
Yeah, it might look impressive if you look at the fact that he's been doing it for such a short time.
Yeah, he's
compared to his other guys.
Yeah,
I'm talking about his size though. Is it because
No, he got
Oda
bigger.
draws stuff, or
he got bigger.
He got bigger.
Pause.
He got bigger. This is just one of those things that Oda does. He's freakishly tall now. He's probably like 16 feet tall now.
So do you
Jesus
think so?
Christ, these
Avalo
folks are
Pizarro
small.
was taller than Magellan. Do you think he's around that size?
Should be.
Might be bigger.
That's crazy. like
Kind of looks like he's like Whitebeard.
because
size.
here's the thing.
Size.
Katarina was taller than the admirals, right?
Yeah.
And Magellan was taller than Katarina, and Avalo Pizarro was dwarfing Magellan.
Yeah.
So if Blackbeard is taller than Avalo Pizarro, he's at least Whitebeard's size, if not bigger.
Yeah, I think there's like the entire you guys have seen people have been talking about too much that's redundant at this point about how there's similarities between the panels of them being reintroduced. It's exactly the same. He has same posture. He's
What do
probably
they
the same
mean, though?
size as Whitebeard now. He controls his territory. He's probably the same size. The similarities are there.
I think honestly, the story of Blackbeard is one that's just so amazing, based on where he came from, and honestly the resolve he had to get to where he is now.
Product of hard work and greed, bro.
10 feet over the time skip. I'm hoping Luffy can grow about 2 inches before the end of the series.
I think Oda has to make Luffy grow.
But yeah, what Brago said about
I think Luffy's size plays into his role of being under our protagonist.
No, but
He
the thing is,
looks
people
small.
are so much bigger than him. Even if he grows, it's not a dent, you know?
No, I think the only way Luffy can actually grow is if he actually grows up, mature wise. No, this is what Oda said.
Here it is, the negativity.
the double entendre.
Right.
What Oda said in his image is that Luffy is the perfect child to him, and he doesn't want him to change if he can help it.
That's silly though.
And that's what Oda said. And I think
you
Oda
know why
actually
that's
did
so silly. Well, I don't know how tall his mother is, but Black Dragon is pretty fucking tall.
Right.
Garp is pretty damn tall. Why the hell is Luffy that short?
Well, Luffy's a child.
He's not. Well,
For Oda, he's still a child. That's what he
genes,
represents.
bro.
is he the same age as
genes.
Kid, or he's 2 years younger?
Yeah, but there's a difference. It's not the age. It's the purpose of the character.
The
Yes, I mentioned that a while ago.
characterization, and that
Yeah.
plays
So
into his.
if the only way Luffy can grow bigger is if the end of series after finding One Piece, he changes into a slightly more level-headed person. Then maybe he can become bigger. But
Would
he
you
has to
want
go through a
would you want
change.
him to be taller, Drizzt?
I mean, the height. It's
Yeah.
sure. Why not? I don't want him to be freakishly tall. I think
No. I'm thinking Shanks or Ace.
Yeah, I think he should be a normal, respectable height.
Yeah. Because Kobe's his height already, if not taller already.
Yeah. So at some point, I think it might happen whenever Oda is ready to move on.
Yes.
With once he's entering the final arc, I think he'll be ready to move on, and he'll
I
Luffy
think
to
it'll
grow
be-
to represent him being the Pirate King.
I think it would be perfect if we don't. It's not necessarily a time skip, but a jump forward. Where it's Oda, if something happens where they just a short disappearance, maybe a month or so.
Yeah, I could see that.
A month.
Vacation?
Maybe just maybe it's a
Getaway?
vacation. Just a
A
getaway.
Malibu?
Maybe a getaway for a month. Then they come back. Then Luffy's a bit taller
I can see that.
because it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be years for that to happen.
It doesn't actually have to make sense. That's the thing people don't
No, it
understand.
doesn't. It doesn't. Look at Blackbeard.
Yeah, the sizes don't make sense. They're more symbolic than anything. They're just supposed to represent something. It's not it actually matters.
And even in the anime, Blackbeard's size from where he started, he was pretty regular sized. How they drew him, in comparison to Ace.
And now he's
Marco
20
those
feet tall.
guys. Now he's freaking huge. I saw people going off about the fight, the clash with them and the Marine Admirals, the Green Bull, Fujitora versus Sabo, and the Revolutionaries. Do you guys? Okay, so people in the comment section were split about this because people are saying, "Oh, we don't need to see it. It's going to ruin the final fight," and I don't think seeing a clash between
ruin
them.
the final fight.
That's what
What
people
are
were
you talking
saying.
about?
That's what people were saying. They said the final fight is going to be more interesting now if we don't see what happened between
No,
certain fights.
what?
Listen,
Yeah.
no, well, okay, listen. I understand both sides of the thing. Drizzt, what they're pretty much saying is that
Okay.
it makes everything more epic when like you're kind of like, okay, so like if Oda just keeps giving us top tier fights versus top tier fights, it's gonna kind of get like not old, but like it's not gonna be unique. Like when we finally see like two Yonkos fight, it's gonna be fucking insane. If we
okay, Froob, let
that.
me ask you this. Right? Say you had a woman, right? You had a woman.
That's already impossible.
Guys, I'm Brago.
Yo.
Wait, he's not even. Oh, whatever. Oh, you have to go.
Oh, Lando, appreciate you coming through, bro.
All right, see you, bro.
I'm gonna upload my
Last
review.
comment, Lando.
Well, I will stick around to talk about King, but King versus Zoro. Let's go. This is the
How'd
beginning.
you think King fights Sanji?
Yeah, stop.
Oh God. Anyway, man, I'll see you.
Catch you later,
Go,
Lando.
go for my review on my sexy voice. We'll definitely be back.
All right.
Can't wait for it. Lando checking out.
The patriarchy. That's what really matters.
Anyways, Brago,
men. All right, let's go.
All right, Lando, peace. Say you had a woman, right? You had a woman.
Okay.
And every time you're about to sleep with her, she just teases you.
Yeah. Okay,
you don't see her vagina. You don't see her titties. Till the final night you guys finally have sex. Then she dies. Was it worth it?
What? She dies?
Yeah, she dies.
Why would she die?
Because after the final fight is the
okay,
end
I
of
see.
One Piece.
No, okay.
Did that
Here's the
one?
thing.
Is that
Like,
yeah? Can that one
I
fight
think
be
I
that
disagree
amazing?
fundamentally, because it's not. I don't think I'm not mad that it's not. It wasn't an actual fight as far as I'm
It's a
concerned. It was a
clash.
clash. Like it's not like you have to see every top tier battle. You just have to see it happening.
Yo, listen.
I don't even want to see happen, Drizzt. I want to
This
see.
is closure.
I don't
Yeah.
agree with the point that I said. I was trying to just like giving.
Yeah.
their-
Then restate your thesis then.
Well, what I think is more
Not good enough.
Okay. What I think is more just like, I agree we probably should see more of these fights, but it's more at the thing where I can't be disappointed in something I never expected in the first place. Like, I knew for a fact that if we were going to get any news on the Reverie at this point, there's no way we're getting any sort of footage of the fight that's going on. Like, there's just no way. So it's like when we see like them there, and then everyone's like, "Oh, come on, we're not going to see if." It's like, dude, what the fuck were you expecting?
No,
Here's the
but
thing,
that's
no,
how
I
we've been
actually disagree.
programmed. We've been programmed that way. I think.
That doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
but here's the thing, Froob. Like, listen, the Act 1 ended. That Oda created an interlude chapter.
That was perfect.
Right.
It was
If he
perfect
wanted to,
timing.
he could have done it. Like there's actually reasonable time to do it, and also there were days past. The second act of Wano didn't have to begin on page 12.
Because
listen, I get that, but
Also,
I'm
here's
just,
another thing. It's not as if I think the argument people are trying to make is we don't have to see every fight, but if you're going to build up events, you can't start them and then not finish them, because otherwise there's like no reason to care. It's kind of like redundant. So it's like the same thing for a lot of the plot lines in this chapter, which is I think it's like the greatest part of the chapter, but also arguably the weakest part. So Oda does a lot of things where he builds up the narrative, but he doesn't actually show the climax. He tells you what happened, and you're supposed to believe it.
but you don't feel it.
But it kind of takes away the enjoyment of it all happening to begin with.
I think.
listen, I agree 100%. I'm not trying to like give Oda like a get out of jail free card. I agree. We probably should see more of these fights, and it would make for a better story if we did. But I'm just trying to say, like, I don't understand why people are as mad as they are. Like, to put it, for example, like Matt B was like going off on Twitter and shit, like, "Oh, I can't
saw
fucking believe this shit,"
I
blah
saw
blah blah.
that,
It's like, dude, like, come on. Like, I understand you guys are kind of pissed, but like, you gotta expect like this. Like, we know what to expect.
You could say that, Froob, but like a lot of people ignore that until it matters to something that they care about, because they have faith until it actually doesn't happen. It's like saying, like, it's like whenever you tell me that I'm black pilled, but then you somehow say that you still have faith regardless of what the history tells you. It's the same thing for other people when it comes to these events.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can see that, but at the same time, I don't know. It's just like, I don't think that showing that fight changes that much in the story.
It's more like, for me, I think it's more criminal to not show the warlord system being abolished, because I consider that to be like Fujitori's shining
it's
moment.
huge.
To off-screen Fujitora, that's like a character moment for him, because we know it's relevant to his character. I think that's more unforgivable than not showing a clash.
But Drizzt, I think for me, what I cared about more was what led to it. At what
Yeah,
moment
I
did
guess
the
that's right.
revolutionaries say, "Okay, we have to attack now"? What was
On the fourth day.
right? Was Kuma going to die? What was the reason for them to say we have to go? Were they running out of food?
I agree with everything you're saying.
I'm more care about that than the actual fight, because
I think that
Bonnie's involved as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think that they're gonna go back to it though, because there's no.
I don't. The thing is,
well, I don't know in what way, shape, or form, but they have to, because there's definitely some stuff going on there, right? So, like you said, why did they attack on the 4th day? It could have been a thing to where Dragon planned that from like the very start, and like he has something else planned on like the 5th day.
Yeah, was that the last? Like that's the last day they could hold out before they had to attack. But my thing, based off of off-screen fights, do we have history of Oda going back and showing them?
No, I wasn't talking about the fights, but I was just talking about
what happened.
Yeah, like stuff like that. I could definitely see like a flashback of the Fujitora scene. Definitely.
Maybe, or we hear through some other character, because I mean that's just how it seems to be.
Yeah, because well, the thing is, during every act ending, we might just keep going back to the Reverie for a little bit to see what's going on.
Possibly
going back to it, or just hearing that things happen, because like,
well, yeah, just like going to
would find out what happened, but it's not like guaranteed at this point.
Yeah.
If it happens, great, then I have nothing to complain about. If we actually get to see everything that happened, we get to see the abolishment and everything along those degrees. But I think people are just concerned because they don't believe it's going to happen.
I don't know. This is the last thing I'm going to say on the topic. The thing is One Piece has a very specific way of doing things, and it just works. It works so well that like it's hard for me to criticize it sometimes, to the point where we can literally just get character introductions and just be so excited just off the characters being introduced and them not even fighting or anything.
Froob, I agree with you. It works.
Well, yeah, but part of the reason why that is because Oda like puts so many mysteries and so many different things, and like the way he does everything is like specifically so that happens. And like when you complain that like, oh, we don't get enough fights and stuff like that, it's like it's still producing probably like one of the best stories, not the best stories,
the thing is I think at some point, because that used to be my thing, I stopped caring as much seeing fights, because a lot of great fights were off screened. So I've gotten to the point where I've accepted that we're not going to see some of these fights, but then Oda he gave us the Katakuri fight, but he went back and forth with it.
Yeah, so like just for an example, like some people might make the argument like, oh, I wish Oda would like reveal more of the secrets and like stop keeping us under the thing, because like, you know, like all these secrets are like piling up, and like I don't know, like it's just getting too much at this point. But at the same time, like those like secrets are kind of like what's making you like addicted to this story, to the point where you just have to like, you want to like, because me and Drizzt talked about this a little bit, to the point where if Oda did something to where like it was so trash that like you would normally drop the series, I wouldn't be able to drop the series, because like I'm so invested into the story that I couldn't drop it basically almost for anything. I might stop reading it for a little bit, but I would always like come back and read it, like, and see the ending and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know. I think the way
that's a different argument for, because I don't think that's a good thing.
I guess
basically, if something got so ridiculously bad, but you still felt that you had to read it, that's not a defense of something. That's basically you just living in nostalgia.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's more.
I'm not saying that applies to One Piece right now, and
I know.
It's just like I think there just needs to be more payoff for things that happen within the narrative.
Yeah.
That's a moment that you didn't have.
Yeah, so like I think it could be true that we get the flashback on this, but until that happens, people are going to be like, oh, come on.
The thing is, I agree with them. I'm not mad at them being skeptical at all.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is like, we criticize the shit out of, well, specifically me and Drizzt, we criticize the shit out of Whole Cake Island, and for pretty much good reason, in my opinion. And the thing is Wano's going like spectacularly so far. I mean, I'm sure Drizzt has more criticisms than I do, but Wano's going great right now, and I find it hard to like go super ham on Oda and all like do these memes like, oh, off screen everything, blah 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 blah, when I think he's gonna fix a lot of that in this arc specifically.
I'm not going forward. I think
it depends on your level of faith. Like if you have the faith that you have, then I think there's nothing to really complain about.
Yeah.
So all that happened in the chapter we didn't even talk about. Not even Act 2 yet. I guess for Shutamaru and Inuyarashi, your thoughts on them? That whole fight.
I really like Shutamaru's character.
I love his character. I've been saying that for a while. I like
Yeah.
how his reactions are realistic. You know, it makes sense for him to have some feeling of resentment towards Kinemon.
Dude, they owe Shutamaru an apology.
They owe Kinemon owes him a screw.
Oh God.
And, like, he's completely in the right for feeling the way he feels.
Of course, because how I saw it playing out, how I see it playing out, my headcanon is Odin told them to save the Minks. Shutamaru, Kawamatsu, and Dendro. He told them to do it because they cannot die. They are going to save Wano. So naturally, with everything that's going on with Kaido and Orochi, you say, okay, I'm going to do it because it's you, Odin. And in my head, I'm assuming it's going to take a couple years, 6 months, a year, 20 years.
And it's like also another thing. It's like I completely feel this because I think this applies to most people in real life, is that he wasn't loyal to the cause. He was just loyal to the person.
That person.
Yeah.
Right. That happens so much.
And
it's
then
like, you don't actually support the organization, but there's like the guy who runs you. Like, yeah, that's great.
That's your friend, right?
Right. Yeah.
You respect that person. But then you had someone like, even in the viz it says this one is disappointed in you, Ashura. Right? That's what Kiku says.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, we were never friends. I was here for Odin.
Yeah, and the other thing that I really like enjoy is because I kind of like see this like happening in the future is he pretty much said like I wasn't following you guys, I was following Odin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about the Kozuki family. I care about Odin.
Right.
And we know for a fact that Shutamaru, well, not for a fact, but pretty sure Shutamaru is going to play a big role in this arc.
He may sacrifice himself for Momo.
I don't know about that.
The thing is, there's no way he was not happy when he saw Momonosuke. A part of him. Because if you respect Odin that much, to see that his bloodline is still alive, there's no way that didn't move you a little bit. Of course you can't show that.
I can see that.
Right? Because he even mentioned Momonosuke. He said, ain't that right, Momonosuke?
Well, so I think actually, bro, that's actually a really good idea. I think whenever Momonosuke proves himself,
right,
that'll be the point.
Yeah. I think there's maybe a conversation that happened that we're not privy to yet. That Shutamaru, because we don't know why he said that. Why he said Momonosuke's name at that point. Like, ain't that right, Momonosuke? Where's something there. There's something missing that we don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, I must have like, yeah, it's kind of weird because I interpreted that the completely opposite way to the point where, well, I thought he was kind of just like talking shit to him, like.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, but
it was talking shit, but he could have said a lot worse things. All he said was, "Ain't that right, Momo?" Because the thing is, for a child, you don't even have to address him. He addressed him. And the thing is, Shutamaru, like from what we've seen, he still cares, but he doesn't have that faith yet. So right now he's saying, yeah, you guys want me to believe in y'all. Y'all left for 2 decades. You can't just replace that by showing up now. I'm supposed to be happy that you're here now. Bro, shit is already fucked up.
They also didn't tell Shutamaru about the plan.
No.
He spent 20 years in the dark.
Honestly, like what I was trying to say earlier is like I'm hyped up for this because I feel like Luffy's gonna do some wild shit that gains the admiration.
The thing is, it's already building with Luffy, right? It's already building, but he has to see more from him.
Yeah,
well,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of like
that's the expectation for that to be Kinemon.
I don't.
He even said himself, like,
Yeah.
don't like, you know what kind of man I am. I'll definitely get you on our side, kind of thing.
Yeah, what was the?
expectation
You had
for
the
it to be
viz up,
Kinemon?
Brago. What did
Yeah.
he?
Yeah, what does the viz say?
Yeah, I'm
The
curious.
Viz says, and you had better not forget what kind of man I was. I will gain your loyalty.
Yeah,
so
like,
weird. I don't know what the fuck he's saying right there. I mean,
guess
a lot of
he's
people interpret it to
persistent.
the point where he's like, you know, I'm an animal. Like,
No.
and, like,
It does not.
I don't-
It does
yeah.
not imply that. It implies that he is willing to do anything to gain his loyalty back. Like he's a loyal person.
Yeah.
But Shutamaru says, if you can, more power to you. But don't assume that everyone's gonna jump for joy at the return of the Kozuki samurai. Y'all abandoned the country for 20 long years, and that absence won't ever vanish. That's facts. There's no way you can come back 2 decades later and expect me to be, yo, I'm so happy y'all are back.
Yep.
It doesn't work
there's
that
definitely-
way.
There's definitely going to have to be some events that take place to get the trust back, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. It might involve Zoro because like the whole like Zoro and Ryuma's sword thing, I think is maybe going to play a role into this
100%.
whole
But
thing.
Well, also Zoro said he'd round up the samurai. I mean,
long story
there's
short,
conflicting things going on.
Ashura Doji, they're gonna have to do a lot to convince this man.
Yeah.
Something spectacular to convince him that he should follow them or help them with what they're doing. Because he just saw the person that you're following here got one shot by Kaido. Like believe in him. He just got his ass beat in one blow. That's him? That's who you guys believe in? Okay. So I can't wait to see how it plays out because Shutamaru is a very layered character. Oda's kind of keeping some of how he feels close to the vest, and he's revealing different things about him. We can imply things about his character. I think he's been handling Shutamaru really well. I think he's been the best character in Wano. To me. So we got to the end of the chapter. And a lot of people got hyped up for this, for these reveals. And I really did enjoy these reveals. I didn't think they were as impactful as some other reviews we've gotten.
Yeah, I 100% attribute that to terrible. I mean,
placement?
I usually never. Yeah, it's just so bad.
Yeah,
I can't believe he actually did it like this. Like, because pretty much the panels like on the side with the conversation, like you can't see.
So the thing is, I'm reading it and I see I glance at them, right? But I look away. So I'm like, in my head, while I'm reading the other things, I'm like, who are those characters?
Yeah, exactly. I've watched like a bunch of live reactions, and pretty much everyone said the same thing. They're like, wait, whoa, who's that? And then they read it. And,
it's just you could have done another page.
Well, I think for me, it's just this is all part of another thing. Where it's like I think Oda tried to do way too much in the chapter. The Act 2 of Wano, it began randomly. There was really no reason to start it in this chapter. Like, so, what could have? Why did he have to do it now?
So moments like this,
the reveal of the commanders was basically just Oda's trying to add hype to it. It didn't actually serve a purpose.
Possibly, or Oda has an agenda.
I don't know. I feel like you're being...
to time, right?
Well, no, compared to the other commanders, all the other commanders were introduced with a purpose.
Yeah,
these commanders were introduced at the end of a panel for hype. That's different.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like you're being way too skeptical on this one because like I think we did get a decent like setup for like the beginning portion of Act 2. I mean, I understand it was just like only 5 pages, but we kind of got like where the arc was like heading with like the Raizo thing and like
mention Raizo.
Well, that's the point. Like, well, I'm talking about pacing for.
You felt like Oda could have waited for this reveal.
So, like it was a multiple day time skip, and a lot of events were skipped.
You think Oda could have waited for this reveal?
I think so. I mean, like it's not like it hurts anything, but like at the end of this chapter, I don't necessarily think it does much. Like it's cool because people care about Calamaties, but in terms of like the story, it's just there.
I think what it does for the story is what they said, right? So first we see Queen with Kid's arm. We're assuming.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
I think more than likely it is based on what was said about Queen. And saying Queen, how long does it take? It says,
what's the Viz say about that?
So King says, we don't need more dead weight around here. We've already got Queen. And Queen says, that's right, we don't need more scum when we've already got King. Got that, Jack the Stooge. Then he says, same to you, Queen. How long does it take to break the spirit of a few stupid brats? You incompetent. Oh, shut up, you torture-loving freak. So this like reveals a lot about them in this dialogue. First off, the relationship they have.
Yeah.
Very similar to Zoro and Sanji. Insults, right? Secondly, Queen is the one torturing.
She's not torturing. Breaking the will, like the King's the one who's doing the torturing.
Well, you think
that's what he says. He says you torture loving freak.
Well, the thing, how I viewed it.
You definitely. I think you viewed that wrong, Drizzt, because what he's saying, like how long does it take you to break them? Like saying as Queen's torturing them.
Yeah.
And then she says to him, like you're like a torture-loving freak. Like I'm not like as good as you.
Right. Like the King enjoys it, but Queen is the one that's assigned to do it right. Right now.
Okay.
Whereas like I think maybe King used to do it in the past, but maybe he went too far.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can see King being the type to go too far. Look at how he's dressed. First of all, let's talk about that. Him dressed like a prison warden.
Yeah,
He's
I don't
not
know
actually dressed like a warden.
What do you mean?
People get this like he has the buttons. That's the only thing that's similar.
So what do you think he's dressed like? Because it reminds me of Magellan.
I think he's dressed like someone from Impel Down, but there's a difference between saying someone's dressed like a warden and someone's dressed like Impel Down. People point to that the skull thing that he has, right? That's not a warden thing. It's not. So people point to that Shiryu having that, but Shiryu didn't get his new jacket until after he left Impel Down. Post time skip.
What about Magellan's get up?
Magellan doesn't have a skull. Like
everyone
not necessarily
jackets. Not necessarily the skull. I'm talking about a jacket.
Yeah,
the button up.
I think it's like there's a difference between saying it's connected to a warden and saying it's connected to Impel Down. There's a difference.
Okay.
I agree that I agree with the headcanon that King is probably from Impel Down.
Right.
But to say he's a warden is kind of like assuming a bit much in my opinion.
Well,
like
when I say when I say warden,
I don't think he literally meant warden.
When I say warden, I'm talking about Shiryu and Magellan.
Right. Yeah.
Right. The connection to them, where I think he's drawing inspiration from those two.
I could see in that manner. Yeah, I could see in that manner. I just don't think he had the same position as them because a lot of people were
No.
saying that.
No. I don't think he was a warden at all. All right, good. But I think he was inspired by those two.
That could be the case, yeah.
Where him being a swordsman and having the Magellan button down, in some way, they're connected. But I absolutely don't think he was a warden. No.
Yeah,
not at all.
For me, I just think he was just a torturer and pulled down.
The thing with that, right? He's been with Kaido for 20 years at least.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So when did they say when Impel Down was built?
It was a long time ago.
So for me, with King, him being part of Impel Down back then, I guess we'd have to see the origin of Kaido's crew, but it's not far-fetched to say that he was at one point working for the world government.
But yeah, back to like the whole arm thing, like it doesn't, like when you look at the panel, it looks like that's Queen's arm, and I understand why people might think that, but it's also at the same time really hard to like, I don't know. The thing with Kid's arm is like it's like a half metallic, half like real. Because like if you see the arm, it's like, or when Kid has like his metallic arm, like when you see him before like the whole Kaido thing, it's like infused into his arm to the point where like you know like his nerves can move it around and like he can move his fingers and things like that. Right. So it's like there might be some type of weird scientist thing going on with the thing in general, and that might be like part of like I keep forgetting the word that I'm trying to use for it, but like that might be.
Well, remember with Kid's arm, you have to insert something into it. So I'm not sure if a Queen is doing that, just cleaning it or doing something to it to amplify pain for Kid. So, but I just think it makes sense that it is Kid's arm based on him being the one that's over the torture.
Yeah,
I can see that. I just think if that's the case in the panel, it definitely is misleading.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was supposed to be like that.
It looks like his arm, because the thing is, it looks like he has arm in hockey or a glove on or something with his arm.
It just looks like Queen has the arm and Queen's moving the arm and touching the gears. Well,
the whole thing is like,
right, like Queen has his fingers in the arm.
Yeah, the whole thing is it's like, oh, you know what? Now that I think about it,
because you can put something in it. It's shaped like an arm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's hollow. It's like a gauntlet.
Yeah.
It might be that Queen is putting on, like, if you imagine it's like a glove. Queen might be putting like on Kid's arm right there. Like he might have disassembled it and maybe he's trying to like put it on his arm right now or something.
That's what it looks like.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's might be what's going on there.
But I know that the thing that people took away from this interaction between Jack and them was that Jack is trash. That's the main thing I've been seeing the community say.
Yeah,
I think that's warranted.
I don't think
is the right word.
I don't think it's warranted, because I feel like, okay, getting chewed out, right, by people that are stronger than you, I don't think that's,
well, I don't really see it like that, Brago. I'm looking at it in the terms of his entire portrayal.
You think he's just like typically a failure?
Well, yeah, like I mean, every time we've seen him, he's getting his butt beat. He's failing. He's getting in trouble. He can't do anything right. For me, it's kind of like a dichotomy between people people were really excited about Jack because at first he was really awesome.
Yeah.
And now it's like a reversal of that where people are like, well, all right. It's kind of like coming down from a high because you expected him to be so much. But I don't know. For me, it's kind of weird because I view all of the commanders in a weird situation. I don't really think we're going to get to see all of these commanders be particularly unique outside of them being enemies.
The thing is, people are looking at Jack from a standpoint of strength. Because he's being chewed out, he's not strong. Where I think what the problem is, his strength gets in the way of the mission. Where he thinks too much of his strength. Where sometimes the focus of the mission, he loses sight of it. And that's the problem with him and his personality. But I don't think he's not strong now because he's getting chewed out.
I feel like he's actually, like, he's always had the mission first and foremost. He just hasn't been able to get it done.
He has the mission in mind, but I feel like he goes too far or he overexerts himself where he bites off more than he can chew.
I think that the only case that would be the case would be just with going to get Dofi, but like, I mean, he was fine in Zoe.
All right, well, this is my whole thing. It's like, even though Jack has a ton of L's, I don't know. The only one that you can even point to as like
legitimate,
like a bad L would be like the Shutamaru thing, to where it's like, oh, we don't know how strong Shutamaru is. He might be weaker, like kind of weak.
But the thing is, Shutamaru is so strong that Kaido acknowledges strength.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because like yeah, Jack's pretty much just being used to kind of like hype up other characters.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, yeah, I think that's a hype tool.
Yeah,
I think that I don't know. I think that's kind of like blinding people's like objectiveness, I guess, in terms of his strength. Because if, let's say, Jack was like introduced way earlier in the series for whatever reason, people would be thinking he's like a monster. But like, just since we're like at this point in the series and he's fighting like all these super strong people, being probably one of the weakest commanders, it just makes him look kind of like trash.
Yeah, it looks bad.
I agree with Froob, because like if you want to compare him to any characters, Jack is very similar to characters like Sanji and Law, where they don't necessarily have things to put them on the strength that people think they are at, but you know he's at that level.
Exactly. But they're they're used.
They're always used in ways that are different from other people. So like people like Sanji and Law, they're also used as hype tools, and it makes them look weaker than they actually are. But they're strong. They're just whatever the plot demands for it. That's what they're used for.
Yeah. So they're not gonna. So in this community, they're always gonna get slandered.
Yeah. So people see that in Jack, and they're just like they get discouraged.
Like what was trending was Jack to drag down, and it was Jack to stooge, but same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. What do you guys?
I think that's funny.
What?
The like Jack the Drag
Down.
Jack
the Drag Down was hilarious. It was hilarious. Especially with like King and Queen saying it, because it's something that we know. Like we know Jack's been fucking up, and they know it too. They just like, yo, come on, bro.
It was. The reason it was funny because I knew exactly how the community was going to react when they
100%.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what's also added to it was the fact that the fodder next to them was like, oh shit, Jack's getting chewed out again. Like this is a regular thing that happens. So that's interesting.
At least recently.
What do you guys rate this chapter?
8.5.
10.
Again, chapters I rate is based on the experience of reacting to it. It's like reacting. I say probably 9.5. Maybe 9. I just didn't. It would be a 10 if the reveal was better. If the reveal was on another page. Like if we just saw Jack talking to a few people, right? And we didn't know who he was talking to. Then we turned the page. Then it was King and Queen. That would have been dope. I think seeing them before knowing exactly who they were kind of took away from it a little bit. But I think I give it like
potentially
give it like a 9. But I don't know. I think even when we see X Drake, I may be a bit more hype just to see exactly what he's doing.
Fanboy right now, bro. So of course you will.
100%. I am.
I honestly don't care about X Drake at all, but
I have hopes for him, but I'm not like waiting in my boots. You know, just like, oh, I can't wait to see X Drake.
Yeah, there's so many characters that we haven't seen yet, and I'm. This is why I just love Wano, because I'm trying to put the pieces together in my head, and I just can't seem to do it. Like, there's just so many different ways that Oda can go with it, and I'm just so excited to see where he like goes with it.
Like I said, Oda's been handling it very well so far.
Yeah, so far so good.
We'll see if more characters go to Wano. how that's handled. Because the worst thing is when we have too many characters, then characters start doing things that's not regular for their character.
Find a way to handle 100,000 characters all well, that would be amazing, because it's almost impossible to do.
It is because
Like, it's actually impossible.
Then you have to start having characters do uncharacteristic things, overlooking things.
Well, the more thing is they just don't do much.
Yeah. I'm just saying they would overlook things so that they don't have to engage with certain characters.
Right.
Because it's not time yet.
Well, hold on. I'm curious. Do you think that in Dressrosa that happened?
100%.
Absolutely, yeah. Dressrosa was like not a good example of what they do with a lot of characters.
Because a lot of times characters got held up because you didn't want these two characters to meet, and you were waiting for time to pass so that this character can.
Like, for instance, the Grand Fleet, I don't think was handled particularly well. No one really cares about them outside of Bart, but the only reason people care about him is because he cares about Luffy. And he's a comedy character.
I think people care about them a lot more now, knowing that they're part of the Grand Fleet.
Now, but like during
before that,
the Grand Fleet,
man,
like, oh cool.
Because remember who was it? Was it Hideo and Sai was fighting? And then they casually get tossed aside by Luffy and Don Chinjao.
Yeah,
it's like, wait, I thought those guys were strong. And then all of a sudden you have Sai using his attack. It was like, wait, so he is strong? And it was how it was handled. It just felt like it was dragged out for some of those characters in Dressrosa.
Well, it's also a lot of other factors. Like you can't really talk about the Grand Fleet without talking about the entire pacing of Dressrosa to begin with.
Yeah. Because the thing is, Oda was trying to flesh out these characters to have you care about them by the time they join the fleet.
Right. Yeah.
But it was.
It didn't go as well as I think he would have wanted it to.
I think what happened was that they were downplayed. Like, they seemed like fodder after the tournament.
I don't know.
Well, I think maybe the case for that is that the fights that they were in weren't necessarily that really focused on.
I feel like just a lot of the characters in Dressrosa that were introduced were kind of shitty, though. Yeah.
You like Kaido? You didn't think Kaido was dope in Dressrosa?
Kaido sucks dick.
No, but like, I think that a lot of the characters that we got now are like pretty good. Like Okiku and the other fucking giant samurai bitch. Or no, sorry, Okiku and Otama. Sorry, I fucking hate that they both have O's in front of their name. I always get their fucking names.
Thing is, I like Leo.
Yeah, fuck Leo.
I like Leo. I like Gladius. I like Senior Pink. Mock Vice made me laugh, and Dillinger made me laugh because of how he treated Bellamy.
Pretty sure Batman is better than every single one of those characters.
Dude, Senior Pink, absolutely not. That's a man's man. That's a man.
Until Batman gets that background story where his parents were killed.
And Gladius, I love Gladius because of his Devil Fruit. That was super nerfed, but I complain about that all the time. Stupid. But yeah, dope chapter.
Yeah, really good.
That's today, Wednesday. Yeah, it's a chapter in 2 days.
Yep.
What do you guys think happens? Quick predictions.
I don't know.
I think we're gonna get a little. Well, the thing is, I was actually kind of confused. Drizzt, you said that it was implying that time went by since Act 1.
That's the way I interpret it. I've seen a couple people saying that might not be the case. I don't know.
Yeah, it was hard to say. I kind of took that way too. So I think that what might end up happening is we might see like a kind of like cut to what Luffy's doing, and he's gonna look fucking like done. Like he's gonna look bad, and he's gonna be like, doing some like hard labor and stuff like that.
The thing is, time had to have passed because wasn't Shutamaru at Amagasa? He was
how much?
Yeah, because he was at Amagasa Village, right? That's where Shutamaru was.
Well, yeah, but we know what time passed because the Straw Hats met up and then came up with a plan, the rescue plan that was off-screen.
Yeah, and then Kinemon saw Ashura walking by, and somehow they met up with Inuyasha and them.
Yeah, so I think a couple of days passed, to be honest.
Yeah, it's probably like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, some time had to have passed for that to happen. We're not sure exactly how much time, but
which is like, I don't know. It's somewhat unfortunate. I actually kind of wanted to see the first interaction between Kid and Luffy after they got thrown in. I think what their first words to each other were.
Do you think we're going to see it? I think we can.
I think that was off screen. I mean, have they not talked to each other in 2 days?
He could go back to show us that. That seems like something he would do for Luffy.
I mean, I don't know. It depends what you.
Or maybe Kid. Well, I can see Kid not talking to Luffy for days.
I
If that's
don't
the
think
case,
that.
that'd be good. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah,
But I just want
yeah.
to see some type of like their initial reaction to each other.
I don't think
of
that
thing.
that's important as you're making it out to be. I definitely think like
It's not listening important. I just want to see it.
yeah, no, I definitely think that they're gonna talk to each other about things that like are going to be important, if that makes sense. Like they're gonna have the interactions that I think that you want the two characters to have.
Yeah, as long as I get them, I'll be fine. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't want. Cause I hate the whole off-screen meme because I just feel like it fuels to the fire of fucking oh the off-screen's everything. I just wanted to put that in there. I think that he will go into that like relationship, if you will.
It really
hope so.
doesn't even bother me anymore, the off-screen thing. It's just one of those where that's just one piece. So
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking about earlier. But
yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, appreciate you guys coming through for this. Let me, for the people that's watching, let me know your thoughts on the chapter. We haven't done one of these in a while. It's gonna be like a month or so.
Yep.
But yeah, like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel. Check out Drizzt's channel. Check out Froob's Twitter. Be where what you're gonna see on there. You may see porn. I don't know. But yeah, like the video. Go watch Neck to Neck. We'll catch you guys later.
I gotta get you in a neck to neck, Brago.